Alright, good morning guys. Today we're going to be doing something pretty exciting. I've done it already on my car and we're going to be doing it on Nick's car that you saw in the last video. So we're going to be installing a subwoofer that Nick just bought. So it's a Fusion, I'm unsure of the size, I'll end up showing you a bit later, but it's got a built-in amp, so pretty much we just got to run the cables from, you know, the start of the car and everything all the way back to the boot to where the sub is, and then obviously because it's got the built-in amp we don't have to have an amp and a sub, so well that's a lot easier for us. Now we're on a little bit of a time crunch, so we're starting early this morning. It's about 7 o'clock and it is freaking freezing. Like my hands, I can't feel them. This is going to hurt a lot, but he's got to get to baseball at like lunchtime or something, so we're going to try and smash this out. Now usually it takes me about 2 days by myself to do this. That was when I done the first time. I was a bit unexperienced, but hopefully now that I've done it a couple of times I should know, and with 2 people working on it, hopefully we'll smash it out in about 3 hours or so and he can go early. Okay, so this is the sub we're going to be using today. It is a Fusion boxed, or enclosed sub, whatever you want to call it, with the built-in amp. It's a 12-inch sub, it should push pretty well. He's got aftermarket speakers and head unit in the car, but I don't think he's running any subs. So it already sounds pretty good, but we're just going to try and fine tune it. Now this is the gear we're going to be using today. So obviously I've got my tool bag, I always have. And this is the stuff we picked up. That's our wiring kit we're going to be using. Pretty much if you're ever doing a sub install, just go buy one of these. It has everything you need for it. The only thing you may need to change is the fuse, because some packs don't give you the right fuse for it. So that's what we've got here. So we ended up buying a fuse holder and with the extra fuse that we needed. Now we only need one of them, so well we're gonna have some spares, but that's a 30 amp. I'm pretty sure what's in the actual amplifier of it is a 25, so it's good to have a little bit more of a bigger fuse in the front where your battery is, that's running back to your amp. I don't really know why it's meant to do that, but I read about it and apparently that's what it is. And hopefully we'll knock it out in a couple of hours so you can go home with a brand new sub. So let's get into it. So Nick's been great and he's already gone and started ripping out all the trims. They're just hanging in there by like one screw or something. Pretty much we want the whole left side of the car ripped out, and we've done the right side as well because we might run the power in different sides because, you know, interference and stuff like that, and the battery is also on the driver's side of the car. So what we're going to do, Nick is going to start by ripping out the sides, and then I'll start by going in the boot and finding our path, and we're going to lift the seat and pretty much make a clear cable path all the way to the boot from the battery and from the head unit. So that's what we're going to start doing now. Okay, so I just ripped apart the left side of the car, just this panel here, and I've taken out the seat as well just so I can find the path I want to go through. So my job now is to find a good path, which is a few holes and gaps and things. So we've got to try and see exactly where we want to come through. Today on Bear Grylls in the Wild, we're going to try and catch a huntsman. I ain't got him. That was the easiest catch I've done. Let it go, there he is. Welcome to Australia, kids. That can go in the bin now. Okay, so it's been almost an hour. We've completely stripped both sides of the car. Well, I've completely stripped the right side. Nick's just getting the glove box or whatever out so we can get up in there pretty good. So pretty much from the subwoofer back to the front of the car, we're going to go through here. There's a hole up there that you can see, and it's identical on the other side where those cables are going through. That's where our audio cables are going to go through, and then that's where our power cables are going to go through. So if we follow the driver's side of the car, that's our holders there. We're going to run down the side, all the way along the trim, all the way under where I have taken out the kickboard or whatever it is for the driver's side. We're going to run up there and there's like a giant grommet. There's a giant grommet just there. It's got some other cables and things going through it. We're just going to punch a little hole in that, push our power cable through, bring it around to the battery. And then for the audio cables, this is our hole again, just like on the other side. We're going to run down, through it again, all the way through. And then we couldn't be bothered to pull this whole thing out, so we ended up finding we could just take the face off and we could get a bit of access up in there. So we're just going to run it down here. We'll take this off and the cables should go up, behind and to our head unit, which is an aftermarket head unit, and we'll show you that all later. So I've completely ripped out the driver's side of the car. I've got my path I want to do. Nick's just putting some screws back that we didn't actually need to take out, but so he's putting that back and he's taking off a couple more panels so we can get a clear run to the head unit from the sub. Now like I said, this is our wiring kit, which I'm just going to start sort of prepping to go straight in as soon as he's done. So it's pretty simple what you got to do, in all honesty. Like, it doesn't take a genius to work out what needs to go where and things like that. I've done this twice before, and well, I had no experience at all with like cabling up a subwoofer. I think I watched maybe one video on YouTube and then just went for it. So it's pretty simple. I'm going to show you the best I can, just all you got to do. I'll walk you through it all, but a lot of it's just common sense. It's pretty easy, and yeah, I'll start prepping these cables and then we'll start running them. Okay, so this is our fuse just here. It's a 30 amp fuse and we've got a 25 amp in the back of that sub. Now this is your fuse holder. To put it together, it's super simple. You just take the end off without losing that little red thing. Pull out the copper, I don't know, the screw bit, the terminal, and then you whack the fuse in. Now they're not like a polarity conscious or anything like that. So you just put it in like so. It's a bit like, there's a bit of a clicky bit inside of it. I'm not sure if you can see that. There's a bit of a clicky bit inside of it that just holds it in, and then you do the same with the other side. Then we're going to put this back together just so we don't lose any of our parts, because if we lose it then that's a really bad thing. We're going to make up our positive power cable for the subwoofer. So on the positive, that's where you put your inline fuse. Now because we're going from the battery to the boot, we're going to put the fuse at the start, so it's going to sit in the engine bay, which I'll show you in a sec. But we're going to make it up with our cable. So in the kit you get a really long, I think it's like 5 meters or something, the red power cable, and then you also get like usually a black or a brown or something like that, and it's a lot shorter. That's your ground cable, so don't use that one in this instance. But what we want to do is we just want to cut it at our length that we want. So between the battery and the grommet isn't that far, so I'm going to end up putting the fuse about here. So that's our little bit, and then we're going to have the fuse and stuff, and then it will connect back up to that again and run all the way to the boot, but we'll do that once we pull it through the firewall. So this is our fuse here. All we want to do is open one side of it, and then this is what we got to work with. So it's a little screw as like a saddle. All we got to do is strip a bit of this off, twist it up, put it in there and screw it up. Okay, so after ages of trying to get the sheath off, we finally got the copper out. Now all we want to do is twist it together and trim off the end of it. So all you got to do is undo the screw with the little Allen key they provide you and put our new connection in. Make sure the sheath goes all the way to the end of the copper, like, you know, like what you can see there. And then all you gotta do is tighten the screw back up and it bites down onto it. We're gonna push the cable through the firewall first because it's a shorter distance, and if you've ever done audio before, you know that trying to push a cable through a firewall is absolute hell. So we're gonna push it through first, and then I'll connect it up in the engine bay, just like I did just then. I'm just doing this one out of the car because it's a bit easier than having to do it in the car. And I forgot to put that on. Bloody hell. Make sure you put the end of it on before you commit to screwing it all up. Okay, round 2, that's back in. We've got our little grommet thingy, and then we just put that up against there and screw it all closed, and that is one end finished. So they've already, the kit actually we got already come with the end already on it. So if you haven't done that before, well, I can't show you because it's already done. So that's done. We're going to connect this to the battery now. Okay, while Nick undoes that and connects that up, I'm going to go to the boot and I'm going to start running the audio cables. Alright, so what you've got to run for the sub is a RCA lead, which is a positive and negative audio jack. You've probably seen them before. It's those thingies there. And then also you need a remote wire, which comes in your kit. It's that super thin, it can be any sort of color, but this one's blue. That just pretty much tells the amplifier to turn on when you start the car. So I've taped them all together so they pull pretty well. I'm starting at the rear door because this little bit is, well, it's pretty easy, so I'm just gonna start with the harder stuff. I'm gonna pull all the way through here, up through to the back of the radio, or head unit, sorry, and then, yeah, put it through the back and then that's it. Okay, so we've run both the cables down the sides of the car. We've got the audio over here and we've got the power over there. It's the exact same thing down the side. We've just run it through the hole. It's going to come tucked down here underneath the seat, underneath all the trim. And then where the tight little space you saw me in before, we've run it up behind here and it's in to where the head unit sits. So the RCA is just going to plug in. I'm going to connect the remote wire up to the 12 volt accessory wire. That connects straight into the accessory wire. We're going to put some connectors there, and then the power. We've put the screwdriver in the hole that we're going to use. It's just through an existing grommet, so we didn't have to drill anything and put a grommet in, so you can do that if you need to. We're going to run down the cables. We've got our fuse here that's connected to the battery, which is the positive side, while having the negative side off because you don't want to get zapped. We'll connect this up last once everything is in. So right now I'm going to connect up the remote wire for it. Nick's gonna run the cable through the firewall while I do this, and then pretty much it's just plug in and give it a test. Remember to test it before you you know, put everything back together, because we've done that before and it's not that good when you got to pull it all back again. Okay, so we're going pretty well. I think we're doing pretty good on time actually. Pretty much we've got all the cables ran, we're just doing the final connections. So in the front of the bay, we've run our cable through the firewall, which that was quite hard. We're going to connect that right at the last thing to do. We've got the cables all run through the car, so there's our power cable just here going down the side. Our head unit is, well, hanging out, but it's all connected with the cables over the far side there, which is a bit blurry, but they run all the way back through the car. We come into the boot where it's a bit messy at the moment, but we're just getting it through so we can test it all. Now Nick's just connecting all this up now. We're going to put our ground wire in, which is quite short for what they give you, so we're actually just going to screw straight into the body once we sand it a little bit, because there's no grounding points in this location. Okay guys, so we've just finished doing all the wiring up. We've connected up here, so this was the last thing we had to do, remember? So we got power running all the way through the car, and we've had to ground a point there, which we've just sanded up. So if you have to do the same thing yourself, just sand your paint up and get a nice screw straight in there. Then we have got our remote cable and our RCAs. The remote runs back to the head unit and it pretty much tells the amp to turn on when the head unit turns on. That's all it does. And this is your audio feed, so this is what actually, you know, sends the sound to the sub. Now this is an aftermarket head unit, so if you're trying to use a stock head unit, you need to get, I think it's like an RCA adapter converter thingy. I've done that in my Commodore subwoofer install, so I'll link it up the top and you can find that. But pretty much, because it's aftermarket, it's straight plug and play, it's super easy. So we're going to give it our first test run. We're hoping that we've done everything right because, well, we don't want it to stuff up, obviously. We have the sub sitting back there, so we've got it pointing into the cab. Now he's got aftermarket speakers, remember, as well, so speakers are now a sub. So remember to adjust your gain and stuff like that, because that's where you get your real bass from. That just does the bass, yeah. You want a full, do you? There you go. He wants the bass full. Okay, I think that sounds pretty good. We can call that a success. Well, there you go. That's how you install a subwoofer that works. So now we're just going to go back. We're going to start cleaning everything up. We're going to put all the pieces back together, and you basically won't even know it's there. Alright, so I'm not sure if I showed you this with the remote wire. That's got to go into your accessory cable. Now, if you see this yellow one here has also got a join, because I originally put it in that one. I looked online and it said that the yellow was the accessory wire for this Commodore. So I trusted the internet. I went straight ahead and done it. Ended up, it was a constant power because the light at the back wasn't turning off whenever we turned the ignition off. So I've actually looked on it, and on the cables it's written on it, so I missed that at the start. But this one says 12 volt constant power, and this one here is ignition slash switched 12 volt or something like that. So you want to make sure it goes on the switch one or the ignition or whatever it's called for you with your remote, and don't put on the constant. So I've repaired this up, I fixed it a bit, but just make sure you double check and don't always trust the internet, because, well, then you could have big problems. Alright, so sorry I couldn't show you the rest of that, but Nick's gone now. He had to race off to baseball, so we quickly just smashed it out. We got most of the car back together, but he's going to put the rest of it back together tonight. But all in all, that took us maybe 4.5 hours, I think. I'm happy with how everything went. It actually went together really well, and it was really quick. And first go it worked, so that's great. But anyway, hope you guys liked this video. Thanks guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.